Welcome to Boom Trust channel, where we discuss important matters around neurodevelopmental disorders. Today, we continue with the important topic on parental self-care. And our amazing guest in studio is Cathrine, our psychologist therapist, who is going to give us more nuggets about self-care as a parent of a person with neurodevelopmental disorders. I am your host, Dr. Fidel Adabaraza. Cathrine,
Greetings.
it's good to have you once again on the channel.
Thank you, Dr. Fidel. We began this topic, and I trust that our viewers are learning and getting empowered. And so today we dive into the topic. So, what is self-care?
What is self-care? Yes. What is self-care? There's a lot. From the last episode, you mentioned that self-care has to be holistic. There is the social, the relational, yes, the financial, the spiritual, and all that. And I really want to get to hear more about this.
All right, that is very, very important. You're doing well, Dr. Fidel. So allow me just to begin, because before we get into the practical steps, because we want to be very practical.
Yes.
We want to talk about things that we can do, people can do, our viewers can do. But before we get to that, we need to find out, how can one tell that all is not well? As a caregiver, as a parent, handling or taking care of a child with neurodevelopmental disorder, how can one tell that they are not well? The one that I think will be, just like something that one is able to tell automatically, the aspect of their emotional stability. And we are talking about, scholars, we call it chronic stress. A caregiver will constantly be feeling stressed. When you talk about chronic stress, is that even after someone, say, have been sleeping, they wake up feeling tired. If someone has
constant tiredness, fatigue, that is unexplainable.
You have rested, you have slept, but you're still feeling very, very overwhelmed and tired and fatigued. So that could be a sign that emotionally you're not well.
Amiss.
And self-care need to be incorporated in your daily life. When you talk about irritability, anger, that you're looking at this child and just something, let me call it small,
minute triggers
you into some outbursts. You will shout, you will yell on the child. Some could even hit that child. So that could be an indicator that all is not well emotionally. Talk about just the feeling of, I'll use the word depression, but we have the medical aspect of depression, but this may not necessarily be that kind of depression, the illness. But one is so emotionally low.
Yeah, very low.
You don't want to do anything. You don't want to get out of
bed.
You don't want to eat. You don't want to engage. You don't want to talk to anybody.
You just want to sleep.
You just want to just be on your own and close yourself, and the curtains are, not opened and all that. So that could be a sign that emotionally.
And you cannot say that you are a melancholy and so you like to be indoors and all that.
And all that. And others would be, we talked about irritability. Would be breaking down. It is normal to express ourselves, but there's that one, something minute, and you break down.
You just want to cry.
You just want to cry.
Yeah. And you have no reason why you're crying. You can't explain to anyone why you want to cry. You want to cry, but you have no reason.
And we can go on, Dr. Fidel, but you're saying emotionally, we need to be alert.
Does that apply even to men? Because we have men who are also parenting children with neurodevelopmental disorders.
Precisely, it does. It does affect, and then actually, I would imagine, women would talk and share and I don't like to stereotype, but you may find the men may not have had those, and those are some of the practical things we'll be talking about, places and safe spaces where they can talk. So there's so much emotion, so much strain that is built within them that they are not able to express. And so emotionally they are drained and really beaten up by just having to take care of this child.
One question that people have always asked me, even before you go now into the practical aspects of it, is I go to places and people ask me this question: why is it the parents of children with disabilities are very sensitive, and anything small like this triggers them into outbursts and all that? And one of my answers has been to let the society know that going and having a child with disability is a loss in itself. And so even as you deal with this, you remember that you are dealing with people who are grieving. And truth be told, is the person's caregivers or parents of children with disabilities are going through grief moments. And they may not even know that they're going through grief moments, because no woman gets pregnant at any given time and hopes that at the end of it all, I'm going to give birth to a child who has a disability, who has neurodevelopmental disorders. And now when a woman carries pregnancy for 9 months, or whichever months it is, even if it's preterm, and the child comes out and the child ends up having the disability, you go through grief, because you're grieving, you didn't get the holistic picture of the bouncing baby girl, baby boy, and all that, and the picture that the society has painted of perfectionism. And so you end up getting this child who has been diagnosed with so many things that you don't understand. And so you begin going through the grief. You go through the first one is usually, you go through denial. You go through anger, you go through depression, you go through bargaining, and all those things. And so it depends on where the person has gotten you at. When they get you and you are at denial, they want to say your child is autistic, you go like, no, defensive.
Really? How?
It's not autistic. Don't even mention. You are labeling it on my child by the child. If they get you and you are at the anger stage, they say something and you
triggers
burst,
you know,
and all that. They get you, you're depressed. They say something and you even become suicidal. And so it depends. They have to get you where you are at acceptance stage for you to be able to be at ease and even receive the offer and the help that is there. Sorry that I hijacked.
There. That's okay. Very, very important just to mention that, because our audience need to know. Why am I feeling the way I feel? I love that you brought the aspect of stages of grief, and then therefore, what we will do now, whatever stage that one will be in, and maybe I'll add one more, is the societal stigma. Because your child is having this, so either it's a curse.
It's a curse.
It's your
like
contribution.
John 9.
What are you trying to do? Even in the Bible.
Lenses of misperception. It is abandonment to the society and all that. And some people have been ostracized from their families because of disability. There are communities in the African society, probably elsewhere too, where children with disabilities are actually killed, you know, from the onset. Very unfortunate. There are many marriages that have collapsed because of a child with disability. That ought not to be.
And jobs have been lost because you need to be out of work every day or every other day, because you need to take this child to the hospital, you need to attend to them. So jobs have been lost. So the society, and the reason we are doing this, and again I affirm you, Dr. Fidel, is because we want to be the voice for not only these children, but the voice of the caregiver, the voice of the parent, the voice of the father, the voice of the mother. And so I think we can carry on. We talked about emotional aspect. So what is it that the caregivers can do as part of self-care? And I love that you brought the aspect of grief in the process, because the first practical thing is to acknowledge their feelings. the society and especially the African culture, you talked about men. You know, men are not supposed to express themselves, maybe publicly, or even women. So the first thing that they need to do is to allow themselves to go through the process. You say this is grief. I expected this child, but this is what I get. So allow yourself to go through that. It is okay to feel, allow me to say, disappointed. It's okay to feel this is not what I expected. It's okay to feel maybe my expectations have not been met. So whatever step that one is in, allow yourself to be. Get a safe space where you can talk it as it is, and that's what we are doing here. You know, through therapy, through support system in the family, the religious organization. So allow and then seek out for a space where you can first connect with the feeling. Don't be in denial that, you know, I am strong woman, strong man, and so I handle this. So the aspect of acknowledging the feelings as they are and express them and process them. That for me would be the first thing that one can do. And there are avenues there. I love the channel, Dr. Fidel.
Beauty out of Mire.
Beauty out of Mire.
Yes.
It's a space where people can come and express themselves. So watching this, just
allow beauty to
DM.
come out of the Mires.
Allow beauty to come out of Mire. So for me, it's first to get to that point where we connect with the feelings. And as I carry on, the other one is something we call self-compassion. Parents, caregivers can really beat themselves up. If I had gone to hospital a day before, or if I didn't go to this hospital, I went to a different one, or if I didn't see this midwife, I saw a different one. You know the bargaining?
Those are things I've battled with, even myself as an individual.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that we can get to that point after we have expressed a feeling that we extend grace, like would say in religious circles.
To self.
To self. That it is not your fault. You brought in the aspect of the guy in the Bible, Jesus saying he did not sin, his father did not sin. So it is not your responsibility. You are not responsible for that. As much as I know maybe there could be things that people are struggling with, but extend self-compassion. That you are okay. You are not a lesser parent because your child is able in this way or the other. So that's self-compassion. Loving on self, you know, taking care of self. It's very, very important. Remember, this is still emotional aspect. We will look at the physical and others. So first is accept the feelings, but also the self-compassion. But I could one more. Seek help. Help is available. Dr. Fidel, I'm sure if one of our viewers is struggling and is feeling, I have come to the end of myself, they can give you a call. And you can encourage them. You can give them guidance. You can see this professional. You can see this doctor. You can try this or the other. Don't die alone. Don't hide that child. Get out with them, with the other people. Let people join you to support you. Seek help.
Seek help.
Help is available.
Awesome.
And there are many others we could say, but I think for purposes of time, emotionally, and there are many others. So the spiritual aspect will come in, that kind of support. But we are saying ensure that emotionally one is stable.
One is stable. And that's good, actually. Spiritually, just be able to connect with God, because how do you carry all this lot alone? Without God, you cannot make it.
Yes.
After all, it is God who created this child in his own image, and he cares about this child more than you do. So learn to give the load back to God and allow God to help you through. And I think physically, just physical exercises, that is good.
That's
and also,
physical,
at least even as you're thinking about your food and all that, many times we are tempted to always think as a parent, I cannot, you know, even get a supplement for myself before my child, which is true, because you see the supplements are very they are very expensive, and the child needs it, and at times, many times you want to give more than. But I came to realize I've done that over and over and over until my own body begins to fall apart, and then I realize, okay, I'm a single parent. I'm giving to the child. My own body is being neglected.
Demanding.
Now, if I exit this, you know, earth, who will take care of this child?
Precisely.
I have to take care of me
First.
to stay healthy, to
take
be
care of
strong,
them.
to take care of the child. And basically that is what we are telling our audience.
Yes.
And so, Catherine, I would want you to give a parting shot. And as you do that, the parting shot around all this important topic of self-care, would you also say, just in case somebody wants to reach out to you, how can they be able to get to you for more help on the same? Probably have a parent who is struggling. And we just didn't also say that you are a family psychologist therapy. It's called psychologist?
Family and marriage therapist.
Family and marriage therapist.
Yes.
Awesome. So there are many families, and some of them that are struggling simply because there is a child born with disability in that family. And here you are a family and marriage therapist. Where can they get you? How can they get you? And even as you give us, a parting shot on this important topic.
Okay. And we haven't completed this topic. We'll be back because there are other aspects, the physical aspect, like you say. So physically, how will one know that they are not okay? So they'll have health issues. Just as we wind up this, they'll have the fatigue we talked about. Sleep disturbances could be a sign that all is not well. Neglecting personal needs, hygiene, the things they love to do, their hobbies and all that. All those would be indicators that all is not well cognitively. I mean, they are losing focus, they're not able to concentrate, they are forgetting things. So that could be also a sign that all is not well. Their relationships. So they're having conflict with people right, left, and center.
Yes.
They are
interpersonal
relationships are troubled. So that again could be a sign that all is not well. So as a way to bring this to an end, and just like you said, in addition to connecting with self and then seeking out for help, I would also talk about support groups, support system. I wonder, Dr. Fidel, who is your support system?
I need to get support system. Come to think about it. Do I have?
We will talk about that.
I need to. I need to think about
groups.
that.
We have support groups of parents and caregivers. So don't be alone. Seek out for support. Get a support group. And another things would be communicate. Delegate tasks. I remember off the camera you mentioned that we may not have many people willing to take care of these children, but get somebody. I trust there is a friend that you can, who can work with you, and that's why the support system is important. That you're able to, take a pause. One day go out, go out.
Do a hike.
Do something. Take a break.
Do a nyama choma.
Do a nyama choma somewhere. So
go to the salon. Do a massage. I think
whatever
that's okay.
works for you. Yeah, will be very helpful. So support system. It's very, very important. Delegating the tasks, very important. And just as I add it up, nutrition.
Nutrition.
You cannot give from an empty tank. So feed well, balanced diet, the timings for the meals, the kind of meals. And someone may tell me you don't know how much our economy is. By the way, self-care is not expensive, must not be expensive. We can do with our legumes, if meat is not available, our traditional vegetables, the fruits in the season. So it doesn't have to be expensive. Self-care must not be expensive. But what we are saying, take care of yourself. You will not be able to take care of this person until you have been able to take care of yourself. And we said it's a holistic approach. So socially, we talked about that. Emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, it's a holistic approach. So take care of you as a caregiver. Only then, when your tank is full, that you'll be able to pour out to this child, to this person that is under your care. Thank you very much for having me here. Yes, I will be giving my number after this, but you can find us online on Virtual Therapist Hub. virtualtherapist.com. You find us there, but my number is 0733 442282. You're welcome. Let's have this discussion. And thank you very much, Dr. Fidel, for having me.
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. She's a powerhouse, and we have learned a lot. There's a lot more that is still yet to come, and I'm sure that we'll still have Cathrine with us one of these days, and she'll still come to give us more. There's a lot more that we haven't covered, including the sleep patterns and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
And so we'll sure be having you back. But thank you so much for keeping beauty out of Mire. Let's continue with the conversations about neurodevelopmental disorders and let beauty continue to blossom out of the Mires that we have. Until next time, remember to subscribe, follow us, and like us on all our social media handles. Bye-bye.